Gamers, what's good? The Fusion Link event is almost upon us. Well, for you, it's probably already started actually by the time you're watching this video. I'm recording this video a couple of days before the event, but I am really excited for it. I had to make this video a bit in advance because I'm going to be out of town when the event does drop. But as usual, we're doing a what should you play for this video, where we just cover a bunch of different strategies that people from my Discord send me, and I show you some replays, some lists, which will all be linked in the description, by the way. Before that, I guess we can talk about the loners super quickly here. I think they're all just okay, to be honest. The Unchained one looks decent in the main deck, but the extra deck is pretty lacking. The Mementos one, the main deck is pretty damn bad, to be honest. I mean, this is playable. I think the best one out of the loner decks is the Predaplant deck, but you will have to learn how to play it. But yeah, this is definitely the best deck, in my opinion, out of all of these loners. It has 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Imperm. It has a Super Poly, and this deck can actually make use of Super Poly pretty well. So yeah, if you're going to use a loner, use this one. Now, before we move on to showing the decks, I do want to show you a couple of the bans, because the ban list for this event is actually really extensive, and it really changes how we're going to look at this format. So if we just take a quick look here, I put up a couple of the important bans. Some cards are representative of pretty much a whole archetype, like Kashtira is pretty much fully banned. So are Bestials, so is Labyrinth, so is Horus Engine. And then there's a lot of like interesting ones. Oh yeah, Mekonko Engine is banned. Maxi is the only staple that's banned. Pretty much every other hand trap is legal from what I can tell, other than Shifter, which obviously is a floodgate, so they're not letting it stay. Then you also have Branded Fusion banned, which makes Branded look a lot less good for this event. Without Bestials and without Branded Fusion, I actually think Branded is bad. I know that's pretty surprising, but yeah, a Fusion event where Branded is bad, and would you look at that, Kit Kalos is banned. So I think Tier Limit also is not super strong. I actually think for this event, a lot of the best decks are pretty unexpected picks. So I'm looking forward to talking about this stuff. But I did kind of want to show you just an overview. In the link side, we also have Appaloosa banned, SP is banned, IP is banned, Update Jammer, D-Save Worm. And if you were planning on using Super Poly to cheat out some wins, well, Garura is banned, and so is Mud Dragon. So your options are a bit more limited on that front as well. Not to mention, the Kaijus are also banned. All in all, I think a more extensive ban list will make for a more interesting event, so I'm all for it. We have a lot of decks to get through, so we're going to get into that. But before we do, check out the link in the description if you wanted to participate in the first Master Duel Central Cup. It's going to be taking place on June 1st, which is a Saturday. So if you're not working on Saturday, June 1st, and you'd like to participate in a tournament, check out that link. And while you're checking that out, might as well, you know, do the algorithm shit, you know, do the like thing, do the... Moving on. So starting off here with what I think could likely be the best deck of the event, we have Heroes. I mean, they're good at going first, they're good at going second, and they already mostly just use Link monsters and Fusion monsters in the extra deck. So that means they're basically unhit other than replacing your 3 Maxi for 3 Droll. So yeah, this deck looks insane. It's coming in from Jadistic in the Discord, who's actually a pretty seasoned hero player. So not much to say here. It's good old Heroes. We are going to go check out a replay right now. All right, so let's see the Heroes in action here. We're playing against Unnicknamed. He's playing ROIDS, and this will show up later in the video, by the way. This deck is actually really cool. So we're going to fast forward here really quick, going for the Fusion Destiny, summoning out the DPE, activating Megaroid City, popping the DPE to get a duplicate, setting 2 duplicate, and we have DPE coming back. Duplicate, if you guys don't know, is basically a compulse, so that's all you really need to know about it. It's 2 bounces. So here we go. Hero lives, summon Stratos. Stratos search the Plasma. Our hand is really crazy here. Ooh, we're playing under Droll. Going for Triple Tactics Talent. Oh, we went for taking a monster, and our opponent went straight for the DPE effect. Here we're going to go for Ferris. Ferris set up the increase, and then they're going to go duplicate to bounce the increase. That's really smart. Going for the Liquid Soldier. Liquid Soldier bring back the Stratos. Stratos pop all the back row that's left. That's kind of crazy. Then we get to go for Malicious. Malicious, and make ourselves a Cross Crusader, bring back the Malicious from grave, and just go to battle phase, get a little bit of damage in here. I mean, we don't have any searching, right? We're playing under Droll, which is pretty rough for Heroes, so we're just going to do this and pass on Plasma. I think that makes a ton of sense, and as you guys know, Plasma is pretty broken, being basically a skill drain. So we have Unnicknamed going for Fusion deployment, summoning a couple of things. Just not quite enough gas to get in there. I mean, Jadistic would have lost this probably against a lot of other decks, but yeah, not enough gas, so just passing on Drillroid and DPE here. We're going to go for Foolish Burial, dump the Denier, summon, and then we get to shuffle back the Malicious to the deck, activate Malicious in Grave, get into another Cross Crusader effect, bring back the Denier, and then they're going to go for DPE, pop the Cross Crusader, and we're just going to go for Fair's effect here. We had another one in hand. Go for increase summon Vion, dump the Shadow Mist, search the Stratos. Then we can go for Vion effect, banish a hero from the grave to search a Polymerization, summon the Stratos, search Neos, go into Wander Driver, activate Polymerization, fusion into the Elemental Hero Flame, Wingman, Infernal Rage. Oh my god, bro is just going crazy. Grab the favorite contact, and we get to activate the effect to tag out into Sunrise, search Miracle Fusion, activate Miracle Fusion, banish 2 from the grave, make Shining Neos Wingman with a whole lot of attack, get to pop 2 cards, and then we just get to go and swing for game. All right. Solid replay, solid showcase. It's good old heroes. Really nothing new to the table for heroes because they're basically unhit, right? So you can't really go wrong with this deck. I genuinely think it's like a top 2, top 3 deck in the event at minimum. So yeah, moving on. All right, and this next list here is coming in from me. It's Chimera Runick. And yes, my list will also be linked in the description. All the lists are going to be linked. It's Chimera Runick, man. This deck is also unhit. I replaced the Maxi for a DPE package with a Verte in the extra deck because Super Polymerization is kind of dead this event anyway. So yeah, good old Runick Chimera. I think this deck is awesome. Its biggest weakness is not being able to go for battle phase sometimes. And going second, I'm running 0 hand traps, 0 board breakers. So I need a lot of gas to get in. But the power level of the format is a bit lower than usual. So I've been actually able to go second pretty well with this deck. Not all the time, of course, but I think it's solid. Anyway, I'm not going to yap too much about my own deck, but I really like it. Let's go check out my replay. All right, so pretty basic replay here. I'm going first. I forgot to change my field. Forgive me. And yeah, I don't do anything too crazy here, but we will go ahead and get into it. So we're starting off with the Codal to search a Mirror Sword Knight. Normal to Sword Knight, activate his effect to summon out a Berfomet search. Oh no, we got Veilered. Unfortunate. We're going to go for Freezing Curses, summon out the Hugin, discard the Edgem Chain, grab a Runic Fountain. I get to trigger the Edgem Chain in the grave, search a Frightful Patchwork, activate Patchwork, search the Polymerization and the Edgem Chain. At this point, we can go for Runic Fountain and activate Polymerization to go into our Chimera King of the Phantom Beasts. We can use the Graveyard effect of Mythical Claws and Berfomet. Berfomet will summon out our Mirror Sword Knight from the grave, and Chimera will mill a card out of the opponent's hand at the end of the turn. Here we can go for Runic Slumber, targeting Hugin so that we can shuffle back 2 Runic cards into the deck and get 2 draws, set the Chimera Fusion, and we're just going to call it a day right there. Then on our opponent's turn, we're going to go for the Mirror Sword Knight, summon a Berfomet to add a couple more cards to the hand here, just building a bunch of advantage. That's what Chimera is really good at, and Runic as well. So here our opponent is going to go for Signet Mining, summon out the Salamangreat of Fire. We're going to go for the Graveyard effect of Mirror Sword Knight. Since I control a Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, I can negate a monster effect. At this point, they're going to go for Balinks, and unfortunately, they already had the field spell in hand. But as soon as they activate Will of the Salamangreat, I'm going to go for Guardian Chimera, and when they summon back the Salamangreat of Fire, I can go for the effect of my Guardian Chimera, pop both cards, get a draw, and our opponent is basically out of place here. We get to summon a couple of things, do a bit of searching, but doesn't really matter. It was just that easy, you know. Yeah, I think this is a solid deck. I think it's a really, really good pick. In my opinion, top 3 of the event, but I am a bit of a Chimera Runick glazer, so we'll just leave it at that and move on. All right, and next up here from Mazinger, we have a blind second Memento deck. Memento is really, really good at going blind second. I so far have only learned how to play it going first, but I know that it's solid at going second because I've went second multiple times with my going first build, and I've been able to eke out a win. So with a lower power ceiling on the format with all the bans that we have right now, I think this is definitely going to be a really, really good pick. I wouldn't be surprised actually if Memento could also be like a top 3 deck for the event, but I've been saying that for the last 3 decks, so I'm going to try to ease it on that. All in all, though, I do think this is a really, really solid pick, and I just want to see it in action, so let's go check out the replay. All right, so here we go. Looking at Memento in action. Our opponent is on a pure Naturia pile. Ragweed? Discard Ragweed for 1/1. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna ash. We're playing against pure Naturia. We're gonna ash the 1/1. This is crazy. I have never seen this card summoned in my life. So our opponent is going for Marron here. Shuffle back 2 Naturias, draw 1, activate Blessing, summon out the Mole Cricket effect, summon a Camellia, dump the Sacred Tree, search another Blessing. Then we're going to synchro into Riser. Riser dump Ragweed, set 2. Okay. All right. It's our turn. We go to battle phase for evenly. They're going to bring back the Camellia. Camellia dump the Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree search another blessing. Then we're going to go for our Sacred Tree in the back row to summon out an Antjaw. We get to go evenly. They have Antjaw on the field. I don't know if there's a good card you summon off of Antjaw. So we're summoning out the Anguich. Oh, okay. So it seems like Moz is respecting the Antjaw here. I don't know if there's like a really good card you can summon off of this, but sure, fair enough. So anyway, going for the Mole Cricket here, summoning 2. And just beating over the Anguich with the Camellia. I can't believe we don't have Sunflower set up at this point. I know if you get 2 Fruit Flies... No, not 2 Fruit Flies. Okay, whatever. Either way, we're going to go Imperm on the Camellia. Okay, so we really did respect that Antjaw. We summon Darkblade, beat over the Antjaw, go Darkblade effect, summon out the Anguich. Anguich, search the combined creation, go for Tatsu, special Tatsu, Tatsu effect, pop itself. Dump the Gaddock as well as the 2 level 1s. We're going to special back the Gaddock, add the Goblin back to our hand. Then we're going to go for the effect of Anguich, pop herself, summon out the Mace. Mace effect, pop herself to search the Memento Fusion. At this point, we can go for Memento Fusion using the Goblin in hand as well as the Anguich engraved to make ourselves a Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon effect, and then we get our opponents is going to get to summon out the Mole Cricket from the grave. We get to search 2 with the Twin Dragon. They're going to use their Mole Cricket here to summon another Antjaw. At this point, we can go and summon Goblin from the grave. They did get their Sunflower at this point. We grab Raigeki. Okay, so Raigeki off of Thrust is really good here. We get to wipe the field, go into Yama. Yama search Shavarva. And then we get to summon out the Horned Dragon. Shuffle back 5 to summon out the combined creation. Pop the Yama to go into a Unchained Soul of Rage with Shavarva. Shavarva set Wailing of the Unchained. Wailing of the Unchained activate. Banish the Memento Fusion. Pop our Link monster to search Memento Fusion. Then we get to trigger our Unchained Soul of Rage and special summon it back. Then we get to grab our... No, I mean trigger the Lord of Yama to bring back the Soul of Rage. My bad. And we set a Memento Fusion. Our opponent is going to go on some Vernu plays here, bringing back the Mole Cricket. We get to trigger the combined creation. We get to summon out Antjaw and Camellia. What is this duel, Moz? Moz, what are you doing? Why did you do this to me? Why did you send me this replay? We get to pop the Sunflower here. We're going to go for the effect of Mace in hand to steal one of their monsters and go Memento Fusion, making Chimera. Please end this duel. Thank you. Thank you. That may have been the toughest to follow replay that I've had to follow in a long time. That had me all messed up. Moving on. Sky Strikers is a deck that you can play this event. Let's go watch the replay. We're going to activate Engage. And what we have here from Top Bulldog is Tri-Brigade Chimera. Is that I guess? Yeah, I mean, they're beasts. You can use them as link materials, and Chimera doesn't really lock you. I know you get locked into only using beasts as materials for monsters from the extra deck with the Tri-Brigades, so I guess you got to do some weird playing around your locks here, but I guess it could work. I was really curious about this. Top Bulldog was telling me, dude, it's broken, trust me. So we're just going to go check out the replay. All right, so let's see this deck in action here. We have a Fractal and a Codal, plus the Tenki and the Nerval. This hand is kind of crazy. So we're going to start off with the Codal here, grabbing a Mirror Sword Knight, and we're going for Fractal right now. Fractal dump Kit, Kit dump Nerval, Nerval search Keras. And okay, so we go for Keras first here. So we are going to be locked as to what we can use for our link materials, but we summon out a Bear Brum, summon out the Mirror Sword Knight effect, summon out the Berphomet search 2. Then we can go for the Chimera Fusion. So, oh, okay, fusing away the Bear Brum actually to summon the Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. We get to trigger all of our cards here, so basically get to search the Revolt with the Bear Brum. We get to mill a card out of the opponent's hand at the end phase, and I think we get, okay, we did not special summon from Grave with the Berphomet there. Not exactly sure why, but either way, we have a Chimera Fusion set and a Tri-Brigade Revolt. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. So our opponent is going for Fairy Tale Snow here. We're going to negate the Snow with the Codal Engrave. Then the Snow can trigger. Okay. So now we're just going to negate the Snow with that instead. Okay. We're going for a Chimera here, but that's going to... Well, it doesn't matter if we trigger Sharon at this point. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, yeah, this is like unlosable. What? Why did you go for a snow effect again there? That's tough, man. That's tough. Either way, get the effect of the Baphomet here, get a couple of searches, and yeah, I mean, we totally cleaned up. Didn't even need to use our Revolt. Didn't even need the Revolt. Like, Tri-Brigade did a whole lot of nothing pretty much this entire duel, but that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, we get to summon back here. We get to dump a Keras. Oh, are we gonna add back the Chimera Fusion? Gonna go Chimera Fusion again. You know, I think Chimera is just a great deck. That's what I'm gonna say. I think it's a great deck. And now we go for tanky, add Fractal. We still have a Revolt, so I mean, I guess it could come up. I mean, we probably. Yeah, okay. I didn't really see the value of the Tri-Brigades in here, but hey, looks solid. Next up here from Zinger, we have Salamangreat. Now, Salamangreat does not have access to Mirage Stalio this event, but Maz is running something pretty spicy here with the Violet Chimera OTK. And he did do this to me, and the replay is him basically destroying me on a very, very bad first turn, so please, just forgive me for that. I mean, obviously, you can't really go wrong with Salamangreat. Maz is running a lot of going second cards here, which I think is pretty interesting for Salad. At first, he was trying a blind second, but it seems more like a build that just can do a bit of both, right? So it's good going first, it's good going second. It's just a solid deck overall. So let's go check out that replay. All right, and I think these last two replays are people bodying me. So guys, be nice to me in the comments, okay? Don't point out my misplays. Don't do any of that, okay? I trust you. So here we go, starting off with the Lady Debug, searching out the Salamangreat Gazelle, and we're going to go into a Balinx. At this point, we can go for Balinx effect, search the Salamangreat Sanctuary activate, and we can go and make another Balinx with our Balinx. At this point, we can summon out a Gazelle, dump the Spinny, and we go into a Sunlight Wolf. Then we can trigger our Spinny in the grave, special summon it where Sunlight Wolf points to, and add back the Gazelle to hand. Using Sunlight Wolf and Spinny, we go into a Promethean Princess. Bring back the Sunlight Wolf, and we can go into our Raging Phoenix. Then we're just going to set our Roar that we already had in hand, and I guess the triple tactics as a bluff. I know. How did I lose to this? I get it, okay? I get it. Anyway, we're going to go for the Patchwork here. I really did my best to bait this out, but I did forget about the Balinx protection in the grave, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, we're going to activate the Runick Fountain. I'm going to go for the Freezing Curses. Here I figured Sleipnir could be a way to dodge the Promethean Princess, and it did, but what did that achieve for me? Not very much. I don't really have a good fusion that I can make here because I have two Fiends in hand, so look, man, give me a break, okay? Anyway, at this point, I get to search the Gazelle. I go for a Polymerization, using Gazelle to make a Chimera, King of the Phantom Beasts. Yeah, okay. Now we get to search a Codal. I'm going to activate Codal, add the Mirror Sword Knight to my hand. I'm just trying to deck thin to get into my Runic cards more. And we're going to summon out a Reliever. Yes, I am just kind of hand looping myself here. I was just, I wanted to pop the back row. I got lucky. I popped the correct back row at least. But all I have is a set Chimera Fusion to my name. I have no Runic cards. Sleipnir is not going to be doing much of anything here. And yeah, we're going to activate our Chimera King of the Phantom Beasts to just get a bit more bodies on the field so I can at least go for a Chimera using my Chimera Fusion this turn, but it won't really amount to much. So here they go. Maz is summoning out the Promethean Princess, summoning out the Gazelle. And that was all in the standby phase, by the way. And then activating the effect of Promethean, bringing back the Raging Phoenix. I'm going to go for a Guardian Chimera here, Guardian Chimera. But keep in mind, Balinx is in the grave, so I can't, pop any Salamangreat cards. So, yeah, that was pretty tough with that protection on the field. I am going to get to go for Mirror Sword Knight here, try to build up a bit more of a wall, hoping that it maybe saves me. But you guys will see it does not save me. So going for the Raging Phoenix here, setting the Roar, grabbing the Will of the Salamangreat. We can go for Foxy. Foxy, reveal 3. We did get a Spinny. That's better than nothing. Activate Spinny, discard. And we get to boost our Raging Phoenix. Then we are going to summon out the dog. I forgot the name, but yeah, the Jaguar. Make a Pit Knight early. Summon out the Spinny from the grave. And go into Proxy Magician. At this point, we get to bring back a couple of Salamangreat monsters from the grave with Will. We get to go for Proxy, chain Pit Knight early to negate and lower the attack of Sleipnir. And then Maz can make a Violet Chimera and double its attack to swing for game. Pretty cool OTK. Not gonna lie, the whole Proxy Pit Knight line. Never saw that before. It's pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, I was on a bad hand, and I could have totally won that if I had a better hand, dude. Trust me, bro. All right, and we're at the last deck of this showcase here. I do want to say, however, there are so many decks that are going to be playable this event. Just off the top of my head, like, I mean, Marine Cess would have been a really good pick that we didn't get a submission for. I think that's another great deck for this event. So, guys, if you feel like there's some decks missing in this video, please make sure to join the Discord. The link is in the description, and you could participate in the What Should You Plays. Send the lists. You know, I really like doing these videos, and I'd love to see more new faces sending decks and stuff like that for these videos. But either way, this last one here, we're going for a spicy pick. You guys can already see it looks really goofy, but it's actually pretty solid. So this is from Unnicknamed, and it is VEHICROIDS or ROIDS, or whatever you want to even call this deck. One thing that's really cool about ROID cards is that all the speed ROID cards technically work within the archetype because they contain ROID in the name. So, like, for example, speed ROID Duplicate is part of the archetype. And it's actually one of the best playmakers for the deck. So look, I don't even know how to talk about this deck. I have like no experience with this deck. I don't understand what it does. So all we're going to do is go check out the spicy replay where Unnicknamed bodies me. And even after he bodied me, I still didn't know what the hell was going on. So with that being said, let's go see it in action. So here we go. Got a Kaitoptera, which somehow is part of the archetype for some reason. Well, not part of the archetype, but it's part of the deck. Anyway, so we're going for Terratop here. Activate Tempest in hand. Discard Tempest and the Tri-Eyed dice to search the Keeper of Dragon Magic. Discard Kaitoptera. Search Fusion Destiny. Then go Keeper. Reveal the Hornsaurus. Set the Kaitoptera from the grave. Activate Polymerization. Using the Kaitoptera and the Keeper of Dragon Magic, we can go for a Hornsaurus. Hornsaurus can activate a field spell from your deck, so he activates Megaroid City, which can pop a card you control to search a Roid card. So we're searching the Speedroid Duplicate, and we're popping a Sangan to do it, so Sangan can search Droll and Lockbird. And then we're just going to go for Fusion Destiny. So yeah, this is your Roid end board, guys. So we got a Speedroid Duplicate, which is basically Compulse, a Searchable Droll, and a DPE. And as you can probably tell here, against my deck, Searchable Droll is pretty good. It's pretty crazy. And now I proceed to make a fool of myself as I try to figure out something that I can do into Droll. And I realize very quickly that there's basically nothing. So I'm going to set one card, which gets bounced in the end phase. So I'm going to just activate it to get a Sleipnir on the field to maybe try to live a turn. But that's, just trust me here, that's not happening. So yeah, I'm going to go for Sleipnir, you know, get a token on the field. Hey, maybe that'll save me. Anyway, summon out the DPE, activate the Polymerization, bring back the Speedroid Duplicate as a monster for the Poly, and just go straight into Chimera. Like, what? Guardian Chimera, draw one, pop two? Yeah, I didn't know Duplicate could do that either until this duel. So yeah, this card can summon itself as a monster for some reason. Look, man, it's stylish, it's goofy, it's silly. But this is a festival, and you don't need to be running the best deck ever to be doing well in the festival. So I definitely recommend people to just play what they like and, you know, try whatever feels right. I think it's going to be a really fun event, so I'm really looking forward to it. Sadly, I won't be available to play the event the day that it starts, but the day after, I'm definitely going to be streaming it, so don't you worry about that. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. That's it for the deck showcase. That's it for the What Should You Play. Let me know if you enjoyed it. If you didn't, make sure to dislike and tell me in the comments why you hated it so much. Otherwise, subscribe. All right. Peace.